This week, RDC is underway. We've already got day one behind us, and in this video, I'm going to give you a little bit of a recap of everything that they talked about yesterday in the first day of RDC. There's a couple of really interesting things. Most of this is stuff that we sort of knew was coming, and a lot of it is also improvements to Roblox Studio and that kind of stuff. But this is the first thing we're going to talk about right here, layered clothing. So they did a little bit of an example here of the layered clothing, showed you a couple different avatars. We knew this was coming, but it sounds like it's coming really soon. I really like some of these outfits and the idea of people being able to make all sorts of different outfits, and they're trying to make it so we can customize our avatars the best they can. Now, this eyebrowless person was released on the Roblox Twitter, and it's a little example of some of the face movements and the head movements that you can use in the future in Roblox. So basically, this person seems like they've got a camera that's following their face, and as they're making facial impressions with their face, it looks like they can make different faces. So this example right here looks like they have to click on the emotes in order to change the different facial expressions. But what they've talked about and some more stuff with examples that we're going to show in this video, basically it's trying to show that these are supposed to mimic facial movements that we are making, like when a camera is watching us. But there's a lot to talk about here as far as what they're releasing at RDC and what the future is in Roblox. I'm not really sure. I kind of want some of your guys' thoughts and feedback in the comments, how this is going to be implemented on the platform. So next thing, spatial voice development, something that they've been working on, that we know that they've been working on, is going to be for 13 plus, but you can see, I told you guys like a year and a half ago, about a year ago, that this is how it was going to be, basically proximity based. If people are in a room, they can have sound dampening materials so that it dampens the sound. They can also make it so that there's materials that can reflect sound. So they're going to have a whole audio department there in Roblox, like a whole just audio engine. So audio is going to be a really big thing in Roblox moving forward. Obviously we knew that was already coming. Aerodynamics, looks like they're adding some aerodynamics to the physics here in Roblox, which will be really cool. You know, depending on the shape of what you're in, maybe it'll go faster. Maybe if it's got a broader side going up against the wind, it will stop. Right here, rail constraints and splines. It looks like they're opening up some more options to make it easier for developers to create this kind of stuff, and maybe even make games like Tycoons, where they can make roller coasters. Breakable welds. Now this is going to be really cool. You can see in this example, the car is running over things and the things are tipping over. Like they hit that tree on the left and then the tree tips. Instead of just being static like that in a game, you can actually hit objects and you can kind of do some destruction. So that's going to be something coming here moving forward. I'm looking forward to this, and this is kind of a new announcement. Also, group transparency. This is something that the devs are going to care about a little bit more than anything else. Also, huge shout out to Asimo, Bloxy News, and Roblox. Lots of sources out there, and I pulled a lot of this information from a bunch of different sources, guys. So yeah, this is group transparency. Mesh importer. So usually in Roblox, when you're importing something into a mesh, it's just a simple object. Now it looks like you're going to be able to kind of group a bunch of things together and import something that's huge and has a whole bunch of different objects without a bunch of errors, which is usually what would occur in the past when people were devs and were trying to do this. So now we can actually import just as a single mesh, like a whole city, like we've got here in this example. So new mesh importer coming here to the future of script. Also parallel Lua. So usually they were able to run scripts basically in series, and now if they can run them in parallel, there's a lot of things that can go on at once, and a lot of scripts that can be running in parallel. Here's a little example here that they showed during RDC, which is just somebody being able to walk forward and the terrain is just going to keep building into infinity. This person could just keep on going. I don't really like the idea of a map that never ends myself, but you know, it's an option. Also, they're modernizing Studio. Now you can see right here in some of these examples, what they're doing is they're just making it so it looks better. You can see the one on the left is a little bit blurrier. The one on the right, a little bit more clear, a little bit easier, so a little smaller. So it looks like they're just going to do some basically quality of life improvements. You can see here a before and after. You can't tell too much of a difference, but you can see things did kind of get a little bit more crisper, so everything's going to be looking better. Now this was the final demonstration, which shows you can see this guy's face moving and camera and animation, but the animated character is just kind of in the front there. So this is just kind of a demonstration. This is more like Adobe Character Animator at this point. I'm not sure how it's going to work inside of the whole platform. Two-step verification on purchases and trades. So when people make purchases or trades, they will get another step of verification, so they don't, you know, make an accidental trade that they didn't want to make. So also Also, experience guidelines. There's going to be guidelines and age locking right here. So right here it says age 12 and up. So they can actually age lock some of these games. So people above a certain age can play it. Under a certain age, they can't play it. Also, you can see here, custom materials. They're going to make it to where people can upload custom materials, and there's going to be a new material library, so we can have some more realistic looking terrain here in the platform. Now, David's 5-year predictions. We talked about this in a video 5 years ago when this happened in 2018. Check out the video on my channel for that. It looks like a lot of them are happening. Probably not going to get Joe Biden to play Roblox, but other than that, it looks like they're on track with a lot of these things. Now, the developer forum looks like they're going to do some improvements over there. They're going to try to make it a little bit easier for people to kind of work together to collaborate, find bugs, report bugs. Everything's going to be looking a lot better in the dev forum for all of those developers. Now, Roblox is just growing. Right here, there's some data that shows 43.2 million daily active users on the platform, which is huge. And you can see in the graph there how quickly it is growing. Grew significantly in 2020, probably because of the virus, but it seems to have helped. 9.7 billion hours of engagement. That is quite a bit. You can see it starting to plateau a little bit at the top. People going back to school here, and you can see it's not growing as quickly as it was in 2020. In-game video, something that we've already seen. It's going to get to a point where people can come in and they can just sit next to friends inside of Roblox and watch a movie. Now, of course, Roblox is going to have to work with the movie studios to see what is allowed and what's not allowed, but we've seen this and we're going to see more of that. Back to layered clothing again here. Some more examples of layered clothing that they talked about here at RDC. Right here is a little example. It doesn't matter the size of the character, but the clothes should basically kind of conform and fit to the avatar, no matter how tall, short, big, or small. It should work with the character. So we'll see that here in the future. Mobile haptics. Now, this is something that they talked about just a little bit here. And mobile haptics is basically a vibration or some sort of physical response. So if you're playing on your phone and something happens, you might feel your phone starting to vibrate. Like if you're in something and the whole place is about to blow up, you'll feel some vibration and some haptics in your phone. Now, Roblox is everywhere. It's in 180 countries, more than 180, and 72% is outside of the US and Canada. So they've been working on that for several years, and as you can see, this is one of those things that is starting to grow. They've definitely grown big in China and all around the world. So there's a new debugger here. Now, this is something that mostly the devs, the people who are the scripters, are going to care about a little bit more, but it definitely improves their quality of life. There's always been some issues working within the Roblox platform itself, but they're trying to fix those things to where there's not Roblox platform issues that people are dealing with. Also, new fonts coming right here. If people want to set up new fonts inside of their games, they can use a variety of different fonts. When we didn't have this so much in the past, we only had kind of like basic fonts that people can use. Now it looks like just out of the package, there's going to be some new fonts that people are going to be able to choose from. Now, also, they've been wanting to age up the platform for a really long time. And you can see right now, approximately 50% of the users are over the age of 13. So you can see how it's kind of changed over the years. It was over 5%, just getting over 15. Now we're almost at 20% here into 2021. So that is good. It is aging up. Now they're trying to work on platform emulation, depending on the device that you're in. They've already sort of done this in many games. So a high powered device, you can get some better visuals, and low powered devices, just so you can actually play the games. It will kind of play a lower quality of the game, but then that way you can actually play the game and it won't lag. Also, 50% of their top 10,000 experiences earn more from EBP than from in-game purchases. So that's experience-based payouts, or I think engagement-based payouts. So basically, people are making money just from people being in their games. Looking forward, it looks like they're going to have subscriptions for developers, UGC for everyone, bodies and heads, limited items as UGC, and UGC items in experiences. So people can buy those items inside of the experiences or the games. Also, some UGC items can end up going limited. And then, of course, they want to open the UGC thing up so that more and more people can upload items there to the UGC catalog. So you can see right here some examples of UGC bodies, heads, clothing, basically anything about the Roblox avatar. They're trying to make it to where the people who are playing on the platform can customize things any way they want. And I know there are some UGC developers who are already working on some clothing, so this is going to be coming very soon. So there's your quick 10-minute overview of day one of RDC. Looks like all sorts of fun things, but a lot of things we already knew about. I'm just kind of curious, what do you guys think? How is it going to work with people going inside of the platform and just having, I don't know, virtual characters? Like we saw some of the demonstrations, like, are we all going to have a VR plus a webcam? I'm just not sure how this is all going to be implemented in the end, but it is exciting to see, and I'm looking forward to seeing what ends up happening here in the platform. Now, if you guys are new here, I would love to have you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk to you guys later.